Hi everyone, my name is Cheryl Bernardi and I'm the creator of Whole Person Academy. I recently created this training company to help individuals like yourself to create harmony in the areas of relationships, career, and finances. Think about it. If one aspect of your life is out of control, it affects every other area. And when I started out in the world of work at age 17, I was really not in a good place. And I wish that I'd had someone to help me shift from being a victim into being a victor. I am eventually there. It just took me very long to get there. And so my purpose with this channel is to help people to shorten the distance between being stuck in a victim mode and shifting into becoming victors and champions in their own life. Today, I want to talk to you about how to lean into a time of transition, especially if you're a graduate who's just started their first job. In my experience, I've been working in higher education for over 10 years, and I've been working with higher education students, specifically those who require bursaries. Many of these students are actually first generation students, meaning that they are the first in their families to actually have the opportunity to go and study and get a full-time qualification. And so what funders really enjoy about funding first-generation students is that they have the potential to break the burden of poverty in their families. But what I've seen and what I've experienced myself as a first-generation professional is that if they don't get the emotional and psychosocial support, it is very difficult for them to bear the burden of their pressure all by themselves. And so specifically today, if you are a first-generation student that is turning to a first-generation professional, meaning being the first in your family that has shifted from blue-collar to white-collar work, then I hope that this video will encourage you and make you realize that you are not the only one who is facing challenges and struggles as you transition into the world of work. So the first question I want you to ask yourself when you're facing a time of transition is, how can I grow in order to embrace the opportunity that is presented to me? Often when we go through a time of transition, we are focused on the obstacles, on the difficulty of the transition, and we're not really focused on, oh, there's great opportunity ahead of me. So for example, if you're shifting from being a full-time student to a full-time employee, there are some things that you will have to face and you will have to grow from. For example, having the flexibility of your own schedule, like you could choose not to go to class or you could choose when to study, to now shifting into being on time for work, having to deal with the traffic and travel to get there, and then being expected to stay in your workplace for a certain time period in order for you to be able to accomplish your mission there. So that takes some time, that takes some shifting. And that is something that you have to lean into. There are other obstacles that come into leaning into a time of transition, and that is the shifting of relationships. I mean, you might have been able to see your friends whenever you wanted to, and now things have shifted after the great moment of graduation, after you've taken all the selfies together and gone into the brave new world. You realize that you actually miss them and you're lacking that support structure. And that's okay, that's a normal part of life. And so I would like to suggest to you that you actually get into the habit of journaling and reflecting on what you're feeling. Because if you're not aware of what you're feeling, it's going to build up the frustration and you're going to take it out maybe at your family or your new roommates or even people at work. And you're going to think there's something wrong with you. So if you do journal, that's awesome. I know most people don't. But I would encourage you to just start writing down your thoughts and feelings. Sometimes just getting it out there in black and white, on paper or on your screen, doesn't matter, helps you to gain perspective. So when you journal, write down the question, how do I need to grow in order to embrace the opportunities that are available in this time of transition? Because there are opportunities available to you. You will be learning how to shift into a new phase of life. You will be able to observe many life lessons from the people around you. So this is an opportune time for you to lean into the opportunities that are presenting themselves for you to grow. And the second question I want you to ask yourself or to think about in this time of transition from full-time student to full-time employee is, what do I need to let go of in order to embrace the new things that are before me? Often it is the hidden things, the hidden motivations, the feelings and thoughts that circulate in our lives that make it difficult to actually embrace something new. For example, my husband and I have recently moved from one area of the country to another. We've been married for 5 years, and this is now the 5th time that we've moved. So you would think that actually maybe we're used to this by now, but the reality is that each time that you transition from one area or another, one stage to another, you have to be willing to let go of things that was comfortable, that was familiar, that actually caused a kind of safety blanket around you. And we need that in this space. But when you have to transition out, you have to be willing to let go of those things. So maybe that for you is actually a close relationship. Maybe there was someone that really supported you, that you could really connect with, that when you were around them, you just felt, okay, I can handle this stuff. And now maybe they're in a different area from where you are and you can't get to them. And you maybe haven't acknowledged that actually I miss them. I know I feel that way as well. And so, it's actually acknowledging your feeling around that is, I actually feel sad because I miss X. And so when you know that, then you can make a conscious choice of, how can I stay connected? Okay, I'm going to send them a WhatsApp call, or I'm going to go and try and see them. Social media does make it easier to stay connected. But also being able to let go of some relationships, not entirely, but just holding them in a looser way, makes you more open to new relationships that can come up in your life. And we should be open to those new opportunities. For example, you may have had a lot of clutter in your life. I know I did. I gave away a lot of stuff, but there were still things I could let go of. And it's shocking what we hold on to. And so as you're journaling, as you're getting used to being more self-reflective, I want you to think about, how can I be more open to what is out there for me? What can I let go of that's no longer needed in my life at the moment? And also to just acknowledge to yourself that, hey, this is not easy. This is something I haven't done before. And I don't know what to expect. I mean, I may have had some expectations, and those expectations have not been met, and I'm not actually prepared for the reality of it. For example, I've been coaching a graduate who's become my friend, and he finally has his first job, and he was so excited, and he's done an amazing job of just actually getting a great opportunity in a great company. He's worked really hard in his university life to actually get to where he is. It was full of struggle. And in the first month of him getting his paycheck, I could sense a lot of anxiety in him. And I said to him, why is there such a rush to achieve more? I mean, you've just got your first salary. You're just in a new company. You need to give yourself time to actually connect and learn and grow. And as we discussed this a bit more, what came out of the conversation was that he feels a lot of pressure to give back to his family. Many first-generation students are very close to their family. It's helped them to kind of push through a very difficult, lonely road. And so the minute they get into the workplace, they think, okay, now it's payback time. I need to, give back to my family and make sure they have enough. But actually, it takes a while to learn how to manage your money, to maybe get a car, get a place to live, to actually get used to budgeting and this new phase of life. And so you might have wanted to give a certain amount of your money to your family, but you can't yet. I know some people who generally give their first paycheck to their families, which is great, but also there's then the added pressure of like, how do I survive? How do I cope? And then there's this building anxiety of, I'm not earning enough money, I'm not growing enough, and I don't have the things I want as quickly as I thought I would get it. So I think that's why a lot of first generation professionals, when they get into the workplace, feel a sense of anxiety and the sense of unease. And I think sometimes companies might feel that they are being entitled, but it's not that they're being entitled, it's that they have these hidden pressures that they have to deal with in terms of expectations from their family, expectations that they've placed on themselves as well to provide for their families. And so it's not easy, guys. It's going to take a while, all right? But I think these questions are going to help you, all right? So just to recap the questions is, how can I grow? In what ways do I need to grow in order to embrace the opportunities before me? And that also means that you may have expected the workplace to be a land of milk and honey, you know, that as you get into the workplace, people will be clapping and cheering and celebrating you because you've worked so hard. And unfortunately, you didn't get that reception. And you might feel like there's a bit of an anticlimax when you get into the workplace because of the expectations that you've had. And instead of a land of milk and honey, you realize, oh, but it's a land of cows and bees. I actually have to help milk the cows, and I have to help in the honey production. And I think that is something that a lot of graduates struggle with, is that realization, that shock almost of, okay, there's more work to do. I have to start from the bottom again. It's like I'm in my first year. And actually you are, in a sense. The thing is, if you embrace the fact that you are always going to be learning and always going to be growing, and okay, the world doesn't always pan out the way I thought, and I can actually adjust myself to the changes in life, it's going to help you to adjust to many different environments. It's going to help you to be more innovative, more creative. When you actually acknowledge your expectations, let them go and be open to learning. I think that's going to really help you to shift. And to also just allow yourself to enjoy the new environment. Enjoy getting to know your co-workers. Enjoy learning about the new place that you live in. Enjoy discovering potential connections, reaching out to people that you might not even think you have a connection, but actually you do. We can learn from anybody. And so I hope that's encouraged you. I realized I had a lot to say about that because it's been in me for a while. But again, just to remind you that transitions are not easy. They're going to be challenging and difficult, but you can help yourself in that process by being purposefully reflective and choosing to own your own power. So I hope this video has helped you. If you've liked this video, please give us a thumbs up. We will be doing a weekly wholeness at work video to help you to create harmony in the areas of relationships, career, and finances. And above all else, give yourself time to grow and enjoy who you are, because there's only one of you in the world. Have a brilliant, wonderful day. Cheers.